My girlfriend laughed. "You're not my dad, I can talk to whoever I want." Then I replied, "You're right." Then I started talking to whoever I wanted to, starting with her sister. Her reaction at the next party was priceless. I was with my girlfriend, and as usual she was chatting with some other guys. Not just a quick message, but laughing, joking, the kind of friendly flirting that makes your chest tighten, without you even realizing it at first. I felt that familiar heat rising, that mix of frustration and disbelief. But I didn't say anything. I stayed calm, just watched. Then she looked at me, smirking like she always does, and said it, the line that hit me straight in the chest. "You're not my dad. I can talk to whoever I want." I swear for a second I felt the blood rush to my head. My brain was screaming, but my mouth stayed quiet. I just looked at her, calm, measured, and said, "You're right." What she didn't know, and what she had no idea about, was that a few days later, at this big party, things were going to shift. Not in a way she expected, but in a way that would make her realize exactly who had the upper hand. We'd been together for a couple of years, but no one knew. Not friends, not family, not social media. She liked it that way. Complete freedom, complete control. She could hang out, flirt, joke with anyone, and nobody would question it. Perfect for her. Frustrating for me. I'm independent, straightforward, and I don't let anyone walk over me. I set boundaries and expect them to be respected. With her, that didn't always happen. She tested limits constantly, smiling when she reminded me I couldn't control her. She had a habit of talking to other guys. Not casual stuff. Flirty, playful, long messages, little inside jokes. Once I asked casually, "Who's texting you?" "Just a friend," she said with a smirk. "Relax," I raised an eyebrow. "Just a friend, huh? I'm not ready for anything serious." "I like my freedom," she replied lightly, laughing. That line. That excuse. Every time I raised concerns, every boundary I tried to set, it was the same. "I'm not ready." Chill. "I like my freedom." My feelings. Irrelevant. Then there was social media. Pictures hinting she was single, hanging out with other guys. Stories showing she had no boyfriend at all. When I asked once, she waved it off. "It's nothing. Just having fun." Little things piled up over time. Secret messages, casual touches that felt too familiar. Inside jokes with other guys. Every time I questioned her, she reminded me subtly, "You're not my dad. I can talk to whoever I want." Despite all this, I cared about her. I really did. But it was exhausting. Constantly walking on eggshells, trying to balance caring about her with not getting hurt. The frustration stacked up quietly, like tension in the air before a storm. The night of the party, the tension felt heavier than usual. I noticed her checking her phone, laughing at messages teasing her friends. I felt that familiar irritation. Not rage, but a sharp awareness that this was the same pattern I'd seen countless times before. "Are you really watching me again?" she asked casually, noticing my gaze. "Just observing," I said calmly. She smirked, rolling her eyes. "You're overthinking it." "I'm just having fun." "Fun, sure," I replied, quiet but firm. She fussed with her outfit, laughing lightly. "You're too serious tonight." "Relax a little," I shrugged. "I am relaxed. Just focused." She looked at me, uncertainty in her eyes. She didn't know how to read me tonight, and that made the tension thicker, more palpable. By the time we got into the car, chatting about friends, the party, the music, the excitement, was mixed with underlying unease. Years of compromise, subtle provocations, and ignored feelings had built up. It wasn't about planning or scheming yet. Just the raw tension of a relationship pushed to its limits, simmering quietly. She didn't know how much I had noticed, or how frustrated I had become. She was laughing, joking, carrying on as if nothing mattered, and yet the atmosphere between us had shifted. She was laughing at her phone again, that familiar little smirk curling her lips. I could tell immediately it was him. One of the guys she'd been texting, despite my past warnings. I cleared my throat. "Who's that?" I asked, keeping my voice calm but firm. "Relax, just a friend," she said, tossing her hair back. Just a friend, huh? I pressed, leaning slightly closer. Her eyes narrowed, and then it came. The line I dreaded but expected. You're not my dad. I can talk to whoever I want. I froze for a fraction of a second, blood boiling. Inside, everything screamed. But outwardly leaned back, letting the words settle in. You're right, I said almost softly. Her smirk faltered. Wait, what? You heard me, I replied, calm, neutral, like it didn't faze me at all. Inside it was chaos. Anger, disbelief, a spark of exhilaration. I realized something. I didn't have to chase her approval anymore. I didn't have to argue, plead, or try to control her. The freedom was intoxicating and maddening at the same time. Yuri not upset? She asked, voice wavering slightly. I shook my head. Not upset, just where, her smile flickered. She realized she had expected drama, a fight, maybe tears, but I gave her none of that. Calm, collected, unbothered. And that, I could see, was making her uncomfortable. She tried to laugh it off, rolling her eyes. I'm not taking this way too seriously. I'm just taking it in, I said evenly. Letting the silence stretch just long enough, she shifted, fiddling with her phone, her playful smirk now tinged with subtle unease. Every laugh, every glance at her screen, every little playful gesture, I noticed it all. Not to attack her, not to argue, but to observe. And maybe plan. Because I realized then, if she could talk to whoever she wanted, I could too. If she wanted freedom, she'd see that freedom came both ways. I didn't say it aloud yet. Not tonight. Not in this moment. I simply let her energy hang in the air, confident, unreactive. Inside I felt a quiet fire, a mix of frustration from years of ignored boundaries and a rush of liberation. Yuri, really calm about this, she said softly, voice uncertain. I smiled faintly. I've had time to think, to realize what matters. Her eyes darted around, trying to find a joke, an escape, a way to regain the upper hand. There was none. Not here, not tonight. She could sense it, the subtle shift, the unspoken understanding that I wasn't the same person who had tolerated these little provocations before. I took a breath and let my gaze drift casually to the room, noticing her friends chatting, her phone buzzing, and the energy she carried with them. And then it clicked. A small quiet idea started forming in my mind. Not revenge, not confrontation, but something precise, something fair, something that would make her realize the boundaries she had tested were no longer hers to dictate, so you won't believe what happened at the party. I walk in, and yeah, I didn't come alone. Hand in hand with this insanely gorgeous girl. I mean, she was stunning. Confident, elegant, you know, that kind of presence that makes everyone notice immediately. And me. Sharp blazer, polished shoes, walking like I own the place. Calm, collected, and yeah, heads turned. I spot her immediately, but my girlfriend. That same girl who had laughed at me days ago, saying, "You're not my dad. I can talk to whoever I want." Her smirk. Gone, completely. She froze for a second, scanning me, scanning the girl I'm holding hands with, and I swear you could see the panic flicker in her eyes. She realized instantly, the rules she always played by. Not applying tonight. Not anymore, she whispers to a friend. Wait. He brought her. Who's she? I catch her glance, smile just enough for her to see, and say quietly, I'm free to talk to whoever I want, too. Boom. The tension hits immediately. Her jaw tightens. She tries to force a laugh, but it's shaky. You can see her friends notice, too. Glances, whispers, subtle reactions. The room is aware that something's shifted. And she can feel it, too. We move through the party. I talk, I laugh, I engage. All casual, all natural. But every glance, every little smile I share with my companion, she sees it. Every laugh, every subtle hand gesture. She notices. And with each one, you can literally watch her frustration build. She's realizing she can't control me. She can't manipulate this. She's powerless in this moment. At one point she tries to approach, trying to reclaim attention. But it's too late. I'm completely in my element. Confident, relaxed, moving through the room on my terms. And every subtle reaction at turns, whispers from friends, curious looks just icing on the cake. She mutters under her breath, almost inaudible. I didn't expect this. Exactly. That's the reaction I was waiting for. The realization that if she could flirt, joke and hang out with whoever she wanted, then yeah, I could, too. And I don't have to apologize for it. The girl I came with, she played her part perfectly. Smiling, chatting, effortless. Not overdoing it, just magnetic. And my girlfriend, she can see it all. Every laugh, every glance, every casual interaction. It's undeniable. By the end of the night, my girlfriend is visibly flustered. She tries to laugh at jokes, tries to redirect attention, tries to appear composed, but you can see it cracking. She's aware the balance has shifted, and she can't fix it. I leave the party calm, satisfied. No yelling, no revenge. Just clarity, confidence, and subtle but undeniable proof. The rules had changed. I'm free too, and she knows it. That nitrosless, pure drama. You could literally feel the tension in the air. And the best part? I didn't have to do anything except be myself and show up with confidence. After that, I didn't just leave and forget. I stayed around a bit longer, letting the energy settle. People were still whispering, glancing at us, but I didn't care. So I walked with calm confidence, laughing lightly with my companion, making no effort to show off, yet everything about my presence was impossible to ignore. And I could see her across the room trying desperately to keep her composure, forcing a laugh here, a casual gesture there, but failing. Every glance she threw at me was frustration and disbelief mixed with a little shock. The power she had always wielded so effortlessly was gone. At one point she came over, voice slightly strained. So, having fun, tried to sound casual, but her eyes betrayed her. I looked at her, smile calm and steady, and said, "Yeah, it's a great night. You seem busy too." Her lips pressed into a thin line. She wanted to argue, to retort, to reclaim some control, but it wasn't there to take. I wasn't reacting to her energy. I was just being present. Every subtle laugh, every casual movement with my companion reminded her she couldn't manipulate this situation anymore. By the end of the night she had retreated, moving carefully among her friends, trying to appear composed while clearly flustered. I could see the way she kept checking us out of the corner of her eye, realizing she was no longer the one setting the rules. She had to watch me, calm, confident, and completely at ease, doing exactly what she had done to me for years, really engaging, attracting attention, commanding presence, and there was nothing she could do about it. Outside the party later, I let my companion slip her hand into mine fully, and walked slowly, enjoying the quiet satisfaction of it all. She had tried to test me, provoke me, and I had handled it with calm confidence. No yelling, no revenge, no dramatics, just subtle, undeniable proof that the balance had shifted. She didn't call, didn't text, didn't chase, and I didn't need her to. The lesson had been delivered without me saying a single word. The next day stories reached me through friends. She had been fuming, trying to explain herself, maybe even embarrassed. And honestly, I didn't care about her embarrassment. The point was made. I had reclaimed my space, my respect, and my life. The tension that had always followed us, frustration, the anxiety, the constant second-guessing gas completely gone. I realized something important that night. Freedom isn't just about doing whatever you want. It's about claiming the respect and boundaries you deserve. Walking away from her control, reclaiming my confidence, and living fully in the moment wasn't revenge. It was necessary. And seeing her adjust to it, struggling to process it, was the final confirmation that the choice I made was the right one. From that night on, our dynamic changed completely. She backed off. The game stopped. She eventually removed herself from my life, not because I forced it, but because I had acted once decisively, and that was enough. I had shown that boundaries are real. Respect is mutual, and confidence speaks louder than any argument. And me. I felt lighter, freer, and stronger than I had in years. Not angry, not bitter, just proud and relieved. I had finally chosen myself, and that honestly felt better than anything else could have. After all of this, I realized something important about myself and relationships. I don't need to bend to someone else's rules or hide who I am, just to make them comfortable. I don't need to justify my feelings or constantly defend my boundaries. Respect isn't optional, and if it isn't given freely, then it's not a healthy connection. Walking away from the tension, reclaiming my confidence, and living my life fully was one of the hardest choices I've ever made, but also the most liberating. It wasn't about revenge or proving a point. It was about recognizing my own value, protecting my peace, and refusing to be trapped in a cycle of manipulation and disrespect. Looking back, I feel relief and pride. Relief that I no longer carry the weight of stress and frustration. Pride that I had the courage to act decisively and calmly, without drama, without anger. That night at the party wasn't about humiliation. It was about clarity, boundaries, and freedom. I learned that the healthiest relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. And sometimes, the most powerful way to enforce that is simply by choosing yourself, standing firm and living life on your own terms.